All right, we're back. We've made some pretty good progress on the handle. Of course, remember I said good night? That means it's another day. Wood slashers, you know, they got them darn ridges. They're kind of hard axes to hang. That's what I'm trying to say. You see the air, you see the gap, the light down there. Well, that thing's hammered on there, and it's still, because of those wedge or those ridges, doesn't want to seat real well. So we'll just keep going on it. I'll knock this off of there, and I'll show you a little bit. Don't throw everything away. I got so many of these little weird pieces of. I think this was a hatchet handle, probably. Now it's a punch. I got this one. I got this one. Got lots of them. Right now I'm using this one because it works. So, yeah. There we go. It's out. Yeah, those darn things. Those ridges, they suck. I ground them out on the first one of these I ever hung. It was big jersey pattern. It was my grandpa's. You can still, well, not really. Yeah, no ridges. No ridges. That's a cool axe though. That's a cool one. It'll probably get a better handle one of these days once I get real good at making handles. Yeah. Oh, so we're getting into the fine tuning. We've got a lot of this done, so throw a good piece of stiff leather in there to protect the handle. Protect it from the vise. It still can dent the wood, but we got a little more work to do down there, not much, so I'm not too concerned. This is tough when you got this much shoulder to remove, because boy, I just don't want to take one fell swoop and take too much, but you can see the knobs clear down here. And that axe head, I think we're going to stop about there. You can really see that or not, but we got a ways to go yet. We're on about that far. So once again, we're just in there using that kind of diagonally slashing motion with the knife. It gets a little hard to hold on to these after they're not square anymore, but you know, you can put some dents in it, we can sand them out. Well, I stopped where I did down there. So yeah, you can just kind of slash that across there and rock it in and out. It makes it quite an abrupt edge, so come back a little ways if we can. Yeah, it's really hard to make those kind of cuts. So we'll start over there on the edge, start to work our way across there a little bit, so we're taking smaller bites. I think I showed you before that little rocking action there. It not only kind of pries that little chunk of wood out, which is good or bad, you know, but it keeps you from bouncing out of there and getting up in here where you don't want to be, you know. I'm still doing that a little bit, but it's not terrible. So out to work the other day, I decided to pull the old pay for the next guy's coffee without him knowing about it. And, you know, just for something to do. Just, you know, we're talking about do something nice for somebody, so there's a little roach coach out there, and I stopped and handed the lady a couple dollars and said, buy the next guy's coffee. And she says, well, who? in particular do you want? And I said, well, just whoever buys coffee next. Well, she was so taken aback, it was funny, you know. You would think the guy getting the coffee, and I don't know what the guy getting the coffee, how he reacted, but that lady was just beside herself that somebody would do that, which is ridiculous. But it maybe you're a good reason to push this so hard, because I mean, you'd have thought I dropped a $100 bill on the counter in there, and you know, it was $2. She was just flabbergasted, and I walked off giggling, you know. That was better than buying somebody's coffee, with just seeing her reaction to that. You know, holding doors open for people. I see that a lot around here. I'm just gonna brag this up a little bit. Blackfoot, Idaho is a fairly friendly place. We moved back from Utah in '97, and we're still here and got no plans of going anywhere, so I like it. We'll visit some other places, but I'm pretty sure we'll stay here. I like to keep them pretty smooth as I can right here. But that transition, of course, this is quite a bit bigger than that is, so you know, there's room here to work. Yeah, smooth. This will be more like this when we get this cut down, and you know, maybe we'll do a video on that one too. That's some more of that red elm that I got from Killinger. Stuff's just pretty. That hasn't been burned or anything. That's just got some linseed oil on it to keep it from drying out too quick. Just gorgeous, that stuff. Light too. Anyway, back to this one. Give that a turn and see where we're at on this side. This is kind of that, beat it onto the handle and see where it leaves a mark and take it off. We're still doing that, but and I just know that we got to go a long ways back here. So yeah, we're back. Update. So we got that much pooking up out of there. One thing about these wood slashers, it seems like it's really hard to keep this head the same size as the inside of that eye, because you're bashing it over those ridges. So look at that right there. Super duper camera trick. Probably gonna blind y'all with the light. That didn't work any better. Hey, there's a gap right here. You can't see it. There's a gap here. It's gonna take every bit of that getting down to that knob now to fill that gap back in. We're getting close. I'll show you. So yeah, you can see where the ridge is starting to dig in again. And we're pretty close here. We stopped leaving a dig mark right there, so we still got a gap here. Yeah, we got wood enough there to do it. We're real close here. We're darn near there again. So I gotta just work this part, stay away from the back. It's so hard because you want to make it look all the same, and doesn't necessarily all need to be the same to fit, but we're getting there. A lot of trimming and shaving to do yet still. It's a lot of work. We'll get better as we do it. We'll get faster. So, all right. See you in a bit. Okay, here we go. Probably should have brought you back sooner, but I get in the middle of doing that and I forget that I'm making a video for you guys. So that's shaped. There's some hammer marks and punch marks up here we got to get rid of, and we got to cut the curve. That's the scary part. But you can see we brought it right down to that shoulder. We're even on both sides. There's a tiny gap right there. I'm not worried about it. There's a couple little maybe saw marks or something down here yet that we got to get out. Got all the marks from the vise out of there. Feeling pretty good. A little final shape down here on the fawn's foot. And we're gonna mount an axe. Just to show you the fit. Where'd I put it? So we beat and bash and hammer and cut and grind, and this is the fit that we want. Drops right on. So when we're ready to hang it, we'll turn that turkey over and we'll give him one final couple of basharonis, seat him down, we'll drive a wedge, and we'll be swinging an axe. Before we actually hang this head, we will clean it up a little bit, put an edge on it. It's in pretty good shape. I like the patina. We'll put an edge on it, see where we get after the edge is up. The pole's in good shape. It's got a tiny little bit of mushroom. Probably not going to worry about. So yeah, here we go. We're getting close to having an axe. Okay, back again. Got the final, pretty much a final sand done. We're going to clean this top up, and we're going to cut a curve in it. So I'm just kind of giving myself a guide line there. That looks pretty good. This one pretty much right on that point where I got to keep the blade, so I'm not going to worry too much about marking the front. I'm going to start with a hacksaw because it's cut slow. Wait! Here, we put a big old ding in her. Take your time. Get it started. Really bad glare. Kind of making sure as I clamp this in there that this vise once in a while, depending on what I put in there and where, I'll put a ding in the side down there. There, now I can see what I'm doing. Start on that fat corner. Slowly drop that blade down. Keep an eye on that point. Don't mess it up. You're going to be really sad. I'm going to move you around a little bit here. There. That's what we got going there. We're going down the back side. Really nothing coming out in front yet, so this is a technique that I learned by watching, well, let me get that in there before I try to talk. Apparently I can't do both at the same time. Watching that old boy on the woodwright shop. You just work it down one side a little bit, down the other side a little bit, Don't get ahead of yourself. I'm gonna get that started. I might try moving on to another saw because I'm impatient and that cuts really slow. Doing pretty good up here. You can probably see that little divot there coming out. It's blade drifting a little bit, and this side probably just a little thin. Kind of what it is at this point. Maybe go back up front with the little saw. Maybe work this front down a little bit. It was doing it with this little saw too. I could see it. Maybe it's the shape of the handle itself. It's keeping that blade all square with everything. It's just cutting on this side of that point a little bit, and that's alright. It's not the end of the world. That's not going to show. The only place it'll show is up here at the top. And yeah, rip cutting hickory with a hacksaw. Who'd have thunk it? Hopefully I don't get a Charlie horse in my leg. Sitting funny. You want to watch this right here. As we're getting down low, we come up here and bash that and put a naughty mark up there where we don't want it. Oh, maybe. Yeah, get that big saw to follow. It's gonna walk that way a little bit, but it is what it is. All right, we got that cut. Not too bad. It wandered over a little bit. Sneaked over to the sander. Slid that sanding belt in there a little bit. Just cleaned the inside of that up some. Then we got to decide. Do we want? Ow, ow. We don't want to poke our fingers. Okay, so here's a Mahogany Wedge. I got these from Whiskey River Art and Trading. They're a really cool company. And I got a whole bunch of them. I don't remember what they cost, but it wasn't very much. Mahogany, I guess I didn't know what mahogany is supposed to look like. I thought it was dark. It's kind of it's almost got an orange tint to it. These are actually double bit, so they're great big. We'll shape it down. Or we can go with one of these guys, which is a black walnut. Same skivvy, you know, bought these from the same guys. The walnut's a little harder. Gives you more of a contrast. I like that. This is Purple Heart. I cut wedges out of that. That stuff's hard as a rock and it's hard to drive in there. It's brittle. So I've kind of quit using that stuff. Yeah, that's where we're at. It's getting kind of late again. It's starting after work. Don't have a whole lot of time to work on stuff, and I'm still slow. That's okay. That's how you learn. Not in a hurry. But we got an axe handle. Next time we're going to work on the head, the axe itself. This is just going to have to go be by itself for a minute. We'll get that axe head ready to go. That shouldn't take long. We'll put an edge on that on the belt sander. Like I say, we'll see what it looks like. He's gonna stay about like he is. We'll put an edge on him and put him on here. Drive a wedge in there. Put some Watco on there. I think we're gonna burn this handle. I think it'll burn nice. So yeah, we're doing lots of lessons on this one. This is start to finish almost. All we didn't do is build this, and don't think I haven't thought about it. So, there we are. See you next time. We'll finish this dude up.